Psychologist Paul Rosen has done a lot of research on disgust. And if you watch TV at all, you know that disgust must sell because there are all kinds of TV shows that sell disgusting things. As humans, we're wired to recognize when something is disgusting. In fact, it's kind of a defense mechanism. This represents something about our religious beliefs too. There's even this idea inside of us that we sort of set ourselves apart and distance ourselves from things that are morally disgusting, and we try to gravitate towards things that we think are morally pure. Well, psychologist Paul Rosen put this to the test with some really simple experiments, and we're gonna ask a couple people on the square to do these experiments with us so we can see where their level of disgust is. Hey, I'm out on the San Marcos Square and I have run into some friends from Bishop Kenny, so thank you all for agreeing to help me with this today. All right, first I need a volunteer who is willing to just spit in this cup. Anybody willing to just spit in the cup? Like anybody, it doesn't matter who it is. Yeah.
Abby, you're the one that said you have no fear.
Abby, spit in that cup for me. All right, you just start spitting the cup best you can, okay? All right, I got a little, this is brand new, it's a little water.
Okay.
All right, if you need that to get, yeah, all right, very good. Now, while Abby is spitting in the cup, I need to, anybody like M&Ms? No, some do, some don't? Okay. All right, so this is a brand new glass vase full of M&Ms. You're all welcome to take one if you like M&Ms. You're welcome to have it. Here, I'll show you. Like, they're completely fine. So if you want one, you're welcome to it, all right? Nothing wrong with them, nothing at all, nothing at all. All right, so you are willing to eat M&Ms, you're willing to drink this water. You go to stores all the time, you go into restaurants all the time, you buy things, you eat things, and you have a certain trust that those things are clean and that they're okay to eat and consume, right? Okay, now if I were to show you this jar full of cockroaches, okay? They're not alive, they're not alive, they're not alive. I've been told by a friend that actually cockroaches are some of the cleanest creatures on earth, if you believe it or not, all right? Now, no. All right, so now I just got a little experiment to see here if this would work. All right, now we all agreed that the M&Ms are clean and good, they're fine. All right, if I were to open this, they're dead. All right, if I were to open this and I were to take an M&M and I were to drop the M&M in the cockroaches, all right, would anybody feel comfortable eating that M&M? Absolutely not. All right, so you would say that the roaches, the disgust of the roaches actually got onto the M&M, right? It made the M&M not clean. It's not okay. All right, are you still spitting the cup? Oh, you got to keep going. All right. Now let me ask you this. Now let's just assume for a minute that if the M&M was clean and you put it in the roaches and now the M&M is not clean, if I were to take a roach and I were to put that roach in the M&Ms, all right? If I were to put it in the M&Ms and kind of mix it up in there, is the roach now clean?
No.
All right, would anybody eat the M&Ms now?
No.
Why not? Maybe on the bottom, so you'd like dig underneath and get?
Yeah, one that like didn't touch the roach, maybe.
Okay, maybe.
No,
All right.
I would touch one from the sides.
You would eat one from the side, but not, okay. So why do you think that the M&M going into the roaches, that the roaches contaminated the M&M, but the roach going into the M&Ms didn't become clean because the M&Ms were clean? Like, how does that, can you explain that?
Because the roach has got germs on it, so if you put the germs in the clean thing, it's not going to make the clean thing any less more clean.
Right, yeah, this is just how the world works, right? All right, how are you coming? All right, good. So,
What do I need?
No, that's probably good enough.
Okay.
So now, here, you want some more water? Take some more water. All right, you have no problem drinking that water, right? Did you bring the water bottle?
No.
Okay, I brought the water bottle. It was clean, it was new. All right, now, would you drink what's in that cup?
My spit?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I guess it's my own spit. It's not that weird. Actually, no, I would not.
Okay, why not?
Because I don't know. It just
All right.
seems really gross.
So even though it came from you, like it's yours, right?
Yeah.
You still wouldn't drink it?
No.
No way.
It looks too gross.
But you would drink the water that is not yours at all. I mean,
Yeah.
like you didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it works. Like
That's
things,
the way it works.
if it comes out of you, it's not going back in you.
Correct. That is correct. That makes sense.
Okay. Good rule. All right. Hey, thank you guys for your help. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So basically what Paul Rosen discovered is that there's something called a purity boundary, meaning that anything that leaves our bodies is immediately considered disgusting. We won't take it back into ourselves. And then he also discovered this other idea, and that is negative dominancy. And what that means is that the impure thing will always make the pure thing impure, but the pure thing doesn't rub off on the impure thing. Now, why this is so important is because Jesus, who is this incredible friend to sinners, totally reversed everything we think about disgust, especially as it relates to our moral lives and to being with people who are just morally other or sinners. This is why he was so attracted to those people. In fact, one of the stories that we read in the Bible, found in Luke chapter 5, is an incredible encounter that Jesus had with a leper. You can find this in Luke 5, beginning in verse 12. While he was in one of the cities, there came a man full of leprosy. And when he saw Jesus, he fell on his face and begged him, "Lord, if you will, you can make me clean." And Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, "I will be clean." And immediately the leprosy left him, and he charged him to tell no one, but go and show yourself to the priests and make an offering for your cleansing as Moses commanded, for a proof to them. But now even more the report about him went abroad, and great crowds gathered to hear him and to be healed by from their infirmities. But he withdrew to a desolate place and prayed. Now this is an incredible story for a couple of reasons. First of all, anybody who had leprosy in this day and age had to go into any place they traveled and say, "Unclean, unclean." People would stay away from them because they were so afraid of this disease. And here this man is approaching Jesus and basically saying, "If you will, you can make me clean." Now, Jesus' disciples must have been totally freaking out because they knew that if Jesus touched this guy wouldn't get well, but Jesus, in fact, would get the leprosy. But Jesus, like he always does, crosses the purity boundary, goes into the man's space, reaches out and touches him and heals him. Now, this is pretty remarkable on a couple of encounters. First of all, we know that Jesus didn't have to touch the man to heal him. There are many other occasions and stories where we read that Jesus just spoke the word and somebody was healed. And yet Jesus found it necessary to touch this guy, not because he needed to touch him in order to heal him, but because this man may not have been touched for years, maybe even decades. Even his family wouldn't have touched him. And Jesus touched him. Maybe the first person who had ever had contact with him in years and years and years. Jesus crossed the purity boundary to make this guy well. But what's even more amazing than that is Jesus didn't get leprosy. In fact, Jesus' wholeness rubbed off on this man and he became well. This story is a wonderful illustration of how Jesus is a friend to sinners. That Jesus crosses purity boundaries. He went places the religious people just wouldn't go. He was with sinners and tax collectors, with the sick, with the lame, with the hurting. He found his way into these places, crossing the purity boundaries in order to bring the hope and the peace that God sent him to bring. But more amazing than even that, Jesus reverses the polarity of our brokenness. Normally, our disgust gets on other people. But Jesus, in fact, brings us into his holiness by reaching out and touching us. That he takes away our sin just by his touch. He doesn't become infected with what's broken in us. We become whole with his holiness as he reaches out to touch us. This is an incredible truth about Jesus and why he's such a remarkable friend to sinners, not just in the Old Testament, but even now, today. But what's more amazing than that is Jesus' recognition that this man needed to be brought back into community. Jesus told the man, "Hey, go show yourself to the priest so you can re-enter society," because he knew that to make this man whole, he needed to be brought back into community with other people. That's why he touched him. Jesus wants to do that for you. He does that for people all the time. He restores us to community. He reverses the polarity of our sin. He crosses the purity boundary and enters into our reality. Jesus is a friend to sinners, and he wants to be a friend to you as well. Grace and peace be with you.